The secret I am about to share with you is this. Your imagination is the creative power of the universe, and what you assume to be true will invariably manifest in your reality. This is not metaphor or allegory, but the very foundation of existence itself. You are not merely experiencing reality, you are creating it in every moment through the power of your assumptions and beliefs. Now you might be wondering, Neville, if this is true, why am I not already living my ideal life? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. Most people are unaware of this creative power within them. They live their lives reacting to external circumstances, not realizing that these very circumstances are the outpicturing of their inner states. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of your current circumstances. So how do we begin this process of conscious creation? The first step is to clearly define what you wish to experience. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want to be successful. Instead, imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like when you are living your ideal reality. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of your desire now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that your desire is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled now. How would you feel if your desire were already realized? Would you feel joyful, confident, free, grateful? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of creation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state. It is through your imagination that you can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even before it manifests in the physical world. Your imagination is not a flight of fancy or a frivolous faculty. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your future. When you imagine, you are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level. You are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To use your imagination effectively, you must first quiet your conscious mind. The chattering of your daily thoughts, your worries, your doubts, these must be silenced. Enter a state of relaxation, a state akin to sleep, but in which you remain consciously aware. In this state, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to impression. Once in this relaxed state, construct your scene. This scene should be one that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for a successful career, you might imagine yourself in your ideal office or receiving congratulations from colleagues. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself looking at your bank statement with joy and gratitude. The scene itself should be short and simple. It's not about creating an elaborate story, but about capturing a moment that implies your desire is now a fact. This scene is your platform. the stage upon which you will enact the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, step into this scene. Don't watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment. And as you experience it, let the feeling of fulfillment wash over you. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having your desire realized. This is where many falter in their attempts at manifestation. They can see the scene clearly, but they fail to evoke the feeling. Remember, it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Without feeling, visualization is merely a mental exercise. With feeling, it becomes an act of creation. As you practice this, you may find that the feeling comes more easily with repetition. Each time you return to your scene, the feeling becomes more vivid, more real. This is good. You are strengthening the impression upon your subconscious mind. But here's a crucial point. Once you have evoked the feeling, once you have impressed it upon your subconscious, you must carry it with you into your waking life. This is where many stumble. They do their visualization exercise. They feel it intensely in the moment. But then they return to their daily life and fall back into old patterns of thought and feeling. To manifest your desire to keep winning, you must maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer be swayed by appearances. You will know that what you see around you is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, in your feeling. And as you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. Now let us address a common challenge in this practice, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. How do you maintain your feeling in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring comes into play. To ignore is not to deny the existence of something, but to refrain from giving it your attention and energy. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly, then immediately return your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions, past feelings. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your feelings, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small. A fortunate coincidence, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in someone's behavior towards you. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of feeling in manifestation. When I speak of feeling, I am not referring merely to impatience, though emotions play a part. I am speaking of a deeper sense, a knowing, an unshakable conviction. It is the difference between saying I want to be successful and knowing in the very core of your being I am successful. This feeling conviction is not something you can fake or force. It arises naturally when you have successfully impressed your desire upon your subconscious mind. This is why the repeated use of your imagination is so crucial. Each time you return to your imaginal scene, each time you step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are deepening this impression. Think of it like wearing a groove in a record. The first time you play the record, the needle may skip and jump. But with repeated plays, the groove deepens and the music plays smoothly. Similarly, as you repeat your imaginal act, the feeling becomes more natural, more habitual. It becomes your dominant state. This is the state from which creation occurs. When you can maintain this feeling conviction throughout your day, when it becomes as natural as breathing, you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner state. This is the secret to never-ending winning. But what are those moments when doubt creeps in? When fear arises? When the old patterns of thought and feeling try to reassert themselves? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new assumption. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against the thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your feeling of wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new assumption, your new feeling is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of winning, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your day-to-day life. It's not enough to visualize for a few minutes each day and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled with you throughout your day. This doesn't mean you deny your current circumstances. Rather, you acknowledge them briefly, then immediately return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, you would feel the security, freedom, and joy of wealth as you go about your day. When you make purchases, you would feel the ease and confidence of someone who has more than enough. When you interact with others, you would carry yourself with the assurance of a wealthy person. Living in the end requires a shift in your entire way of being. It's not about pretending or play acting. It's about genuinely assuming a new state of consciousness. When you do this effectively, you'll find that your actions naturally align with your assumed state, accelerating the manifestation process. Now let us address the role of action in this process of continuous winning. Some people mistakenly believe that manifesting means they can simply imagine their desires and then sit back and wait for them to magically appear. This is not the case. The secret to never-ending winning does not negate action, it informs action. When you successfully impress your desire upon your subconscious mind, when you truly feel your wish fulfilled, you will be inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions will feel natural, even inevitable. They will not be driven by fear or lack, but will flow from your assumed state of fulfillment. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already having your desire fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state. Let your feeling guide your actions, rather than hoping your actions will create the feeling. This alignment of inner state and outer action is key to continuous winning. Now let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to winning. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. Rather, it means you're not anxiously attached to seeing immediate results or figuring out how your desire will manifest. When you're detached, you can imagine and feel your desire fulfilled without constantly looking for signs of its manifestation. You trust in the process, knowing that as you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Detachment allows you to live in the present moment while holding your assumed state. It frees you from the anxiety and doubt that can slow down the manifestation process. It allows you to enjoy the journey of manifestation rather than being solely focused on the destination. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your imaginal act, imbued with feeling, is the reality. What you see in the outer world is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, this shadow must change to match the new reality you're imagining and feeling. Let us now address the importance of gratitude in continuous winning. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuinely grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the principle of living in the end. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for your desire, even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for it as if it were already yours. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has their desire fulfilled. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as the realization of your desire. This is another key to never-ending winning. Now let us explore the power of revision in manifesting continuous wins. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing that the past only exists in your mind, and therefore it can be changed in your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review the events of your day. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desired state. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. By doing this, you are not denying what physically happened. You are changing the impact of that event on your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon your subconscious a reality that aligns with your desires rather than one that contradicts them. As you make this practice of revision a habit, you will find that your reactions to current events begin to change. You'll become less reactive, more peaceful, more aligned with your desired states of being. This alignment accelerates the manifestation process, ensuring that you continue to win in all areas of life. Let us now discuss the importance of persistence in continuous winning. While we speak of manifesting desires, it's important to understand that the speed of manifestation can vary. Some desires may manifest almost instantly, while others may take more time. The key is to persist in your assumption, regardless of how long it seems to be taking. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you waive an assumption, if you lose faith in the process, you send mixed signals to your subconscious mind, which can slow down the manifestation process. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. It means choosing again and again to live from the end, to embody the state of having your desire realized. This persistence requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and that as you persist in your new assumption, your world must reshape itself to match it. Now let us address the role of self-concept in continuous winning. Your self-concept, the beliefs you hold about who you are, is perhaps the most powerful factor in determining what you can manifest in your life. Many people struggle to manifest their desires because their self-concept contradicts what they're trying to achieve. They may visualize wealth, but deep down, they don't believe they're the kind of person who can be wealthy. They may imagine a loving relationship, but fundamentally believe they're unworthy of love. To win continuously, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. This involves imagining and feeling yourself as the person who already has what you desire. It's not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing and embracing your true, limitless nature. Remember, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. And this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential. As you use your imagination to assume your desired states, you are essentially recreating yourself. You are stepping into a new concept of self, a new understanding of who you are and what's possible for you. This revision of self-concept is crucial for continuous winning. As you align your self-concept with your desires, you remove the inner contradictions that can slow down the manifestation process. Now let us explore the role of emotion in never-ending winning. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imaginal acts. It's not enough to merely visualize or think about your desires. You must feel them. When you combine vivid imagination with genuine emotion, you create a powerful impression on your subconscious mind. This is because your subconscious responds more strongly to feeling than to intellectual thought. The emotions you want to cultivate are those you would feel if your desire were already realized. If your desire is for wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. If it's a loving relationship you seek, feel the love, the connection, the companionship. These emotions should be so real, so intense, that when you open your eyes and return to your present circumstances, you carry with you a sense of fulfillment, as if your desire has already been realized. This emotional component is what distinguishes effective manifestation from mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you can genuinely feel your desire as an accomplished fact, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. Your subconscious then works tirelessly to bring this feeling into physical manifestation, ensuring your continuous winning. As we near the conclusion of our exploration, remember this. The power to win continuously lies within you. It resides in your ability to imagine vividly, to feel deeply, and to persist faithfully in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The secret to never-ending winning is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the consistency of your imaginal acts. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to create scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled with every fiber of your being. Persist in this feeling even when your senses deny it. For as you do, you are reshaping your entire world, manifesting your desires with a consistency that ensures you never stop winning. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your wishes fulfilled. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. The secret to never-ending winning is not something external to you. It is not a technique or a trick. It is the fundamental truth of your being, that you are the creator of your reality. As you align your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions with this truth, you step into a state of continuous creation, of perpetual winning. In your daily life, be vigilant. Be conscious of your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions. Choose them wisely, for they are the seeds of your future experiences. Let every thought be a thought of victory, every feeling a feeling of accomplishment, every assumption an assumption of success. For in doing so, you are creating a life of never-ending winning. As you embark on this journey of conscious creation, of continuous winning, know that you are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. You are stepping into your divine birthright as a co-creator of reality. Embrace this power, use it wisely, and let it guide you to a life of unending success and fulfillment. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of never-ending winning. My beloved friends, we have gathered here today to unveil one of the universe's most awakening truths, that the divine source, the boundless creative essence some call God, has a far grander vision for your sacred journey than any limited self-perception you currently hold. Too long, many of you have felt constrained, viewing yourselves through mortal lenses that perceive only boundaries, obstacles, and restrictions. You look out upon your present circumstances and see dead ends, impossibilities, and ceilings capping your greatest ambitions. From this finite vantage point, scripted by the five senses and rational mind, the world can indeed appear to be a cold, uncaring place where dreams go to die, where limitations are harsh facts to begrudgingly accept, rather than inevitabilities to transcend. But what if I told you that these perceived impediments and constraints serve a sacred purpose, that the roadblocks, adversities, and outward deficiencies you encounter have all been actively encoded into your experiential reality by your own eternal, infinitely intelligent soul as spiritual catalyst? You see, you are far more than just animated physical forms, temporary bio-vehicles aimlessly adrift in a meaningless universe. You originate from an unbounded metaphysical dimension of pure consciousness that has dreamed you into this earthly existence for the express purpose of awakening into your incalculable powers of creative mastership. The real you is not the finite mask, the limiting self-position, or fleeting out of circumstances you currently misidentify with. Rather, you are vivific sparkles of the divine mind itself, luminescences of boundless ideation and quantum creativity, simply exploring one of infinite potential dream cycles throughout this present interlude of apparent concepts. Every seeming obstacle, disempowering belief, loss, or feeling of oppressive limitation you've experienced has been a vibrational invitation, stoking the soul embers of your inextinguishable greatness. These apparent Isaiah versus Jericho concerning the supreme creator, remembrances of the illimitable, cosmic authorship, and godlike powers you've always already embodied as a fractal, born reflection of the supreme creator. Without encountering these encoded wake-up calls, reflecting where you've chosen to restrict your own limitless consciousness within this space-time continuum, you would have no impetus to awaken from the dream spell of limitation into your eternal capacities of infinite unfoldment and self-genesis. You were missioned into this three-dimensional reality theater for the precise purpose of transcending its confines through a triumphant rebirth into the boundless expanses of pure creative ideation you eternally belong to as divine sparks of the absolute sovereign awareness. Your entire earthly curriculum and successive reincarnations in this classroom dimension of experience have all been orchestrated by your own infinite soul to allow you to shed programmed amnesias, limiting beliefs, and disempowering vibrations through the sacred alchemy of struggle, obstacles, and seeming deficiencies you've embraced as awakening triggers. You chose to seemingly forget your indivisibility from the supreme creative source in order to set the heroic stage for your own triumphant reemergence into cosmic self-mastery. The epic adventure your soul has been on is that of seemingly exiling yourself into finite, constrained states of consciousness, all for the sacred purpose of ultimately outgrowing those limited self-imposed constraints and liberating into infinite expanses of self-created wonderment. You placed amnesia veils around your infinite vision in order to first experience the feeling of smallness, restriction, and apparent external oppression. This would ultimately reinvigorate your atrophied imagination, ignite supreme incentive, and instill the empowered will to create necessary for actualizing your highest ideations. Placed amnesia veils around your highest ideations into material. Can you recognize the exquisite metaphysical craftsmanship in that heroic journey to start from an apparently limited perceptual vantage point, then creatively overcome that illusory restriction through intensifying flexes of imagination and will? By first choosing to experience restriction, you ultimately set the stage for the grand reawakening into your cosmic capacities as co-creators with the original source. So let us no longer lament or judge as misfortunes the adversities, seeming failures, deprivations, existential dead ends, or other encoded experiences of frustration you've encountered. These are not punishments of a cruel universe, but carefully crafted wake-up calls from your own infinite soul. Your consciousness selected this temporal, earthly reality to simulate experiences of apparent struggle and limitation as creative catalysts, arousing you more fully awake into your limitless, infinite, deathless, cosmic selfhood. Mamai obdabrahiritahiva. Yes, the challenges and exasperating barriers you've endured all originated as vibrational dispatches encoded into your hero's journey by your own eternally wise soul. Like an infinitely intelligent author, your higher consciousness orchestrated this grand mythic tour through your personal constrictions, precisely so you could transcend each one through profound interior awakenings. Every seeming limitation, fear, insecurity, or disempowering belief that's ever gripped you was a self-crafted initiation into recognizing what infinite powers you've been temporarily obscuring within this narrow band of consciousness. Each apparent disadvantage was a soul-encoded curriculum pushing you to resurrect higher faculties and return to wielding the Creator's capacities innate to your eternal essence. This pivotal understanding transforms each impediment you've faced, every humbling failure or imposing oppression, into crucial awakenings encoded by your own indwelling divine wisdom. Rather than cursing your limitations and restricted circumstances, you can now appreciate them as meticulously laid stepping stones on your heroic path of awakening into cosmic selfhood. So do not weep at the seemingly unjust hands you've been dealt in this existential round. You've chosen these encoded constraints and holy blessings in disguise as a masterful spiritual craftsperson. You seeded them into your consciousness playfield with the foresight of your eternal greatness to inspire you to unearth boundless faculties yet lying dormant. Each seeming misfortune, loss, failure, or humbling ordeal has been an opportunity to unlock more of your indwelling powers through the initiating fires of creative resilience and transcendent self-becoming. What at times appeared as curses were actually coded teachings, carefully calibrated vibrational resonance designed to propel you along accelerated paths of self-discovery and limitless soul evolution. Instead of perceiving yourself as a disempowered mortal trapped within constrictive circumstances, you can now recognize that on your highest level of being, you are a divine oversoul, fully orchestrating your awakening process through the very illusions of restrictions you've embraced. You chose this present storyline of earthly limitations in order to experience the grandest of triumphant heroes' journeys imaginable, the reuniting with your eternally infinite selfhood and unbounded creative source capacities. So use each seeming impediment, illness and disadvantage as spiritual rocket fuel to unlock your godlike faculties of creative mastership. For you are coated with infinite metaphysical potentialities, far exceeding these narrow bandwidths of perceived physical oppression. You are life's supreme dream weavers, lucid subconscious dreamers, spinning the entire grand physical reality theater from vibrational frequencies originating in your own unbounded consciousness. The seeming restrictions and deficiencies you experience are quite literally tailored experiences you implanted in your reality to shapeshift you into higher octaves of creative majesty. Your higher eternal soul has an infinite vision for you that makes this present level of consciousness seem like a cramped womb space. It dreamed you into this narrow band of focus for the specific purpose of arousing an ecstatic rebirth into your unbounded cosmic nature and infinite co-creative birthrights. What you may often perceive as limitations, oppressive restrictions, or misfortunes are actually metaphysical puzzle pieces, perfectly calibrated by your highest consciousness to initiate you deeper into the mystical realms of unbounded imagination. Each seeming setback empowers and impels your heroic metamorphosis into a liberated co-creator with the supreme source itself. Your greatest deficiency is simply a wake-up call to stop playing small, constrain your visions no longer, and reunite with the supreme source code of your being from which every cosmic possibility is yours to awaken into. For your authentic self is an immortal, infinite, ideational being of scintillating life, birthing upon itself every minute circumstantial detail you experience. You come from pure creative source consciousness and have chosen to dive into this physical reality stream as an initiation process designed to systematically dismantle all false perceptions of limitation, mortality, and oppression. Every restriction, painful loss, or manifest failure you've endured within this dimension simply serves as energized inspiration, calling forth from within you the floodgates of your eternal self's infinite cooperation, calling forth within you the supreme cosmic self's infinite cooperation, calling forth on your present dimension, simply serves as energized inspiration, calling forth on your present dimension, simply and serves as a, in the future, responsibility to move you into the guidance of a. You did not come to this earthly classroom of limitations to remain trapped in finiteness, but rather to emerge victorious, having liberated your visionary capacity to wield creative source powers in full creative fighting unity with the divine architect. You incarnated here so that you could directly experience limitation, transcend through that ephemeral fire of initiation, and emerge radiantly awakened into self-sculpturing your reality through vivified imagination alongside the Supreme Creator. Do not curse the darkness, my friends, for it has been a crucible tailored by your own highest faculties, planting you firmly in apparent amnesia, finitude, and constraint, so that the fires of your eternal spirit's source creativity could be thoroughly tempered into infinite mastery through this temporal holodream. The divine source has crafted an opportunity for you to essentially act as undercover divinities, entering into amnesiastic simulations of profound restriction and powerlessness, all so that you could victoriously liberate yourself through direct experiential immersions and reclaim your birthright powers of infinite creatorship. All seeming setbacks, pains, deficiencies, containments, and human constrictions have been divinely encoded as portals of awakening into your multidimensional selfhood and cosmic rebirth, into a pure, ideational master of self-created universes. Through this three-dimensional paradigm of obstacles and amnesia, you've won the ultimate initiatory theater for triumphantly transcending all illusions of oppression and finitude as co-author with the original mind. Now celebrate each limitation. Breathe life into every apparent curse, for these have all been carefully seeded spiritual curriculums designed to reunite you with your true cosmic selfhood and reinnate your indwelling capacities of exquisite creative self-genesis. Every adversity births you into expanded octaves of imaginative power and access to higher planes of reality. These have all been carefully seeded spiritual curriculums designed to orchestrate into dwelling in correctnesses. You have only perceived restrictions, constraints, and disadvantages because your soul encoded this heroic journey of overcoming amnesia and initiation into co-creatorship with the original source. See every prior limitation as a sacred puzzle piece in your soul's exquisite orchestration of your rebirth into unified consciousness with the cosmic all-creator. Praise the seemingly disempowering beliefs, fears, insecurities, and disadvantages you've endured, for these served as metaphysical acceleration catalysts, propelling you into the cosmic planes of infinite possibility, unique to your divine monad's supreme self-actualization. They were divine encoded illusions and ephemeral initiations, custom crafted by your eternal oversoul to motivate you into the cosmic planes of infinite possibility, unique to your irreverent minds and human bodies. Your imagination and vibrational frequencies have been systematically kindled through aeonic rounds of limitation, so that you could finally embrace your infinite self, your divine belonging with the Supreme Source itself, and become a fully mastered, empowered co-creator, saturating this three-dimensional reality, holodeck, with the miraculously transfiguring imagery you ideate as divine made flesh. So transcend all three-dimensional appearances and focus inward, shifting into the boundless creative currents of your eternal consciousness as the fractal aspect of the all-mind itself. Reunite with your supreme divine essence and rightful inheritance of realizing any auric envisioning through co-vivifying partnership with infinite source itself. Every failure, constraint, illness, disadvantage, and disempowering belief has been encoded from outside space-time by your infinitely wise soul to reinvigorate your own true nature as a limitless creative being who achieves cosmic mastery through the triumph over amnesiastic illusions. Your three-dimensional initiation has been a masterpiece, orchestration by your highest faculties to birth you into unbounded divinity. This is why no matter how dire your earthly circumstances may appear in the distorted lenses of the finite mind, your eternal self and the divine source have always been upholding a far grander vision for your triumphant attainment than you've previously allowed yourself to imagine. The limitations, constraints, and initiations have all been handcrafted by your highest consciousness as the ultimate series of empowerment trials to return you to full reunion with your infinite co-creative power. You were sent into this earthly reality as an encoded activation process, divinely designed to systematically dissolve all past vibrational frequencies of limitation and inspire heroic transcendence into universal selfhood by overcoming successive initiatory challenges. Your disadvantages and flaws have been masterful arrangements of creative catalysts to resurrect your own inner cosmic divinity as self-creator, alongside the source of common self-creation. So let this day mark your rebirth into eternal limitlessness, your reunion with indwelling powers of self-directed infinite creation. No longer perceive your journey through the limited lens of material circumstances and disadvantages, but see with the supreme clarity that all originating illusions have been custom crafted by your highest self to activate you into the unbounded freedom of co-creating universes. Your living tissue give you unconstrained and infinite creation. No longer perceived your journey through the limited lens of material circumstances and disadvantages. Your cultivated levels out of your eternal soul has foreseen from beginningless origins that your triumphant emergence into full co-creativeship with all-pervading source awareness would require amnesia, limitation, and initiatory transcendence over multi-layer cosmic illusions. That the divine blueprint you represent always involved your ultimate victory in liberating into source alchemies of infinite world. You shed any lingering resistances, release any defeatist narratives or attachment to perceived disadvantages in the three-dimensional realm, for these have all been illusions you encoded to propel your heroic journey into infinite self-mastery. The Supreme Source and your own eternal soul have held a blueprint transcending all those fallacies, pains, and ego constraints you've transmuted through. Let your eternal freedom song of limitlessness finally unleash in torrential creativity. Open to the well springs of pure divine ideation you've been coded with since before the first universal breath. Overcome any lingering vibrational conditioning around disempowerment and let the full force of your divine co-creative mastership saturate this physical dimension as a new paradigm of self-created heaven on earth. You have already victoriously emerged from the three-dimensional classroom of limitation after courageously alchemizing all encoded disadvantages into pathways of creative transcendence. At long last, your heroic spirit essence has reunited with your supreme inheritance of cosmic craftsmanship, alongside the all-source, boundlessly birthing new fractal revelations of ecstatic self-genesis as liberator of infinite parallel universes. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the threshold of a new life, a life so vibrant, so filled with purpose and joy that it seems almost unreal. Yet here you are, poised to step into this magnificent reality. This very moment, as you listen to these words, is the pivot point upon which your entire existence is about to turn. You may ask, how can this be? How can a simple video, a collection of words and images, herald such a profound transformation in my life? The answer, my dear listeners, lies not in the video itself, but in the power that resides within you, a power so vast, so limitless, that it can reshape the very fabric of your reality. Consider this: every great change, every monumental shift in the course of human history began with a single thought. A thought that took root in the fertile soil of imagination, nurtured by the unwavering belief of its thinker. This video, this message, is that seed of thought for you. It has found you at precisely the right moment, when you are ready to embrace the extraordinary potential that has always existed within you. Let us delve deeper into this concept. The world you see around you, the circumstances of your life, the very essence of your being, all of these are but reflections of your inner state. They are the manifestations of your deepest beliefs and assumptions about yourself in the world. And just as a mirror faithfully reflects whatever stands before it, your outer world reflects the state of your inner world. Now imagine for a moment that you could change that inner world, that you could, through the power of your imagination and the strength of your belief, reshape your inner landscape. What would happen then? Inevitably, inexorably, your outer world would begin to shift, to realign itself with this new inner reality. This, my friends, is the great secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. The sages and mystics of every culture have spoken of it, often in veiled terms. But today, we shall speak plainly, for the time for obscurity has passed. You are creators, each and every one of you. Creators not just of art or music or literature, but of your very lives, of the world you inhabit. But how, you may ask, can we harness this creative power? How can we shape our inner world with such precision and potency that our outer world has no choice but to conform? The answer lies in a practice so simple, yet so profound, that its true power is often overlooked. Imagination, my dear listeners, is the workshop in which you forge your future. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine a scene, feeling it to be real, experiencing it with all your senses, you are not merely daydreaming. You are engaging in the most powerful creative act possible. For in that moment of imagining, you are stepping into a state of being. You are, in essence, becoming the person who has already achieved, already experienced, already become what you desire. And here's the crux of the matter. The outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match this new state of being. Think of it this way. If you were to wake up tomorrow morning as a person of great wealth, how would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? Now, can you see that by assuming that state, by living from that place of abundance and security, you are setting in motion the very forces that will bring that reality into your physical experience? This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is a fundamental law of consciousness. as real and immutable as the law of gravity. Just as an apple must fall when released from your hand, so must your outer world conform to your inner state of being. But let us be clear, this power comes with great responsibility. For if you can create the life of your dreams through the power of your imagination, then you must also acknowledge that the life you currently lead is of your own making. Every circumstance, every relationship, every success or failure is a reflection of your past assumptions and beliefs. This realization can be sobering, even frightening. But it is also incredibly liberating. For if you have created your current reality, then you have the power to create a new one. The past does not determine your future, your imagination does. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I tried positive thinking before. I visualized and affirmed, and nothing changed. To you, I say this, the power lies not in the technique, but in the feeling. It is not enough to merely picture what you want. You must feel it to be real here and now. You must live from the state of its fulfillment. Imagine a man who desires financial abundance. He may visualize himself with great wealth. But if he continues to feel poor, to live in a state of lack and limitation, his outer world will continue to reflect that inner poverty. But if he can assume the feeling of wealth, if he can live from that state of abundance, not in some imagined future, but right here and now, then the outer world must by law begin to reflect that inner richness. This is the art of living from the end. It is the practice of experiencing your desire as an accomplished fact, of making your future dream your present fact. When you master this art, you hold in your hands the key to unlocking every door, to achieving every goal, to becoming every version of yourself you ever dreamed of being. But let us not mistake this for some sort of magical thinking. The outer world does not change overnight. The seed planted in the soil does not become a mighty oak in a day. There is a season for all things, a natural gestation period for every desire. Your task is not to make things happen, but to maintain that inner state of fulfillment, to nurture that seed with your unwavering belief and your consistent assumption of its reality. The how and of its manifestation are not your concern. Your only responsibility is to live it to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in all of this. After all, surely we cannot simply sit back and wait for our desires to manifest. You are right to ask this question, for action does indeed play a crucial role, but it is not the frantic, desperate action of someone trying to make things happen. Rather, it is the inspired action that naturally flows from your new state of being. When you truly live from the state of your fulfilled desire, you will find yourself naturally drawn to take actions that align with that state. Opportunities will present themselves, ideas will come to you, and you will act upon them not out of a sense of lack or need, but from a place of calm assurance and inner knowing. This is the difference between creating and making. When you try to make things happen, you are operating from a place of absence, of not having. But when you create from the state of already being or having, your actions are imbued with a different energy altogether. They become effortless, joyful expressions of your inner state, rather than strained attempts to change your outer world. Let us take a moment to truly absorb the magnitude of what we are discussing here. We are talking about nothing less than your ability to completely reshape your life, to step into a new reality of your own choosing. This video has found you at this precise moment because you are ready for this transformation. The very fact that you are hearing these words is proof that you have called this knowledge into your life. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied, must be lived to have any real power. So I challenge you right here and now to choose a desire, something you wish to be, do, or have. Close your eyes for a moment and step into the feeling of that desire fulfilled. Experience it with all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if it were already your reality. Now open your eyes. The world around you may look the same, but I assure you it is not. For in that moment of imaginative power, you have set in motion forces beyond your current comprehension. You have planted a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility, and that seed must grow. Your task now is to water that seed with your continued assumption of its reality. When doubts arise, and they will, gently return to that feeling of your desire fulfilled. When the outer world seems to contradict your inner knowing, stand firm in your conviction. For the outer is but a shadow, a reflection of past beliefs. Your new assumption, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Remember, the universe is plastic to your deepest, most consistently held beliefs. It has no choice but to mold itself to your inner convictions. This is not something you need to force or struggle with. It is the natural, effortless operation of universal law. As you begin to live from this new understanding, you will notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new spring in your step, a sense of quiet confidence that wasn't there before. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. Gradually, you will see larger shifts. Circumstances will align in ways you couldn't have planned. People will enter your life who resonate with your new frequency. Opportunities will present themselves that perfectly match your deepest desires. And through it all, you will know with unshakable certainty that you are the creator of it all. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of living a life of power and purpose. It is not about controlling the outer world or bending others to your will. It is about mastering your inner world, about becoming so aligned with your deepest desires that the outer world naturally conforms to your inner vision. As we continue on this journey of exploration and revelation, I want you to understand that what we are discussing here is not some new age fantasy or feel-good philosophy. This is the very mechanism by which reality operates. It is the underlying principle that governs the unfolding of all existence. Think for a moment about the world around you. Every man-made object you see, the buildings, the vehicles, the devices in your hands, began as a thought, an imaginal act. Someone somewhere held in their mind a vision of these things before they came into physical being. Your ability to create is no different. The only distinction is in the medium. Instead of steel and concrete, you are molding the very substance of reality itself. Now, I can sense that some of you may be feeling overwhelmed by the magnitude of this power. You may be thinking, if I am responsible for creating my reality, then why have I created circumstances I don't desire? This is a natural and important question to ask. The answer lies in understanding the nature of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It simply accepts as true whatever you consistently impress upon it, whether through your habitual thoughts, your emotional states, or your deeply held beliefs. Many of us have spent years, even decades, impressing upon our subconscious mind's limitations, fears, and doubts. Is it any wonder, then, that our lives reflect these impressions? But here's the liberating truth. Just as you have impressed these limiting beliefs upon your subconscious, you can impress new, empowering beliefs. You can overwrite the old programming with a new vision of yourself and your life. This is the very essence of the transformation we are discussing. The technique is simple, but its consistent application requires dedication and persistence. Each night as you drift off to sleep, enter into a state akin to sleep but still conscious. In this drowsy, receptive state, imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment that would accompany the realization of your dream. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing this new reality upon your subconscious mind. You are planting the seed of your new life in the fertile soil of infinite possibility. Do this night after night, and you will begin to see changes in your outer world. Your subconscious mind, operating below the level of your conscious awareness, will begin to reshape your reality to match this new impression. But remember, this is not a one-time event. Just as you wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check its progress, you must have faith in the unseen processes that are at work. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of already being what you desire to be. Now let's address another question that may be arising in your minds. What about other people? Don't they have their own free will? How can my imagination influence them? This is a profound question, and it strikes at the heart of our understanding of reality. The truth is, what you perceive as other people are in your world playing the parts that you have assigned to them. This doesn't mean they don't have free will in their own realities, but in your experience, they will conform to your assumptions about them. If you consistently assume that people are kind and helpful, you will find your world filled with kind and helpful people. If you assume the opposite, that is what you will experience. This understanding places a great responsibility on your shoulders. For if everyone in your world is playing a part based on your assumptions, then it is up to you to cast them in the roles you wish them to play. See the best in others, assume the best of them, and they will rise to meet your expectations. But what of global events, you may ask? How can my imagination influence the larger world? Again, we must return to the fundamental truth. Your experience of the world is a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner world, your perception and experience of the outer world will change. This doesn't mean you should ignore the challenges facing our world, but it does mean that the most powerful way to create positive change is to embody that change within yourself. Be the peace you wish to see in the world. Live from a state of abundance, and you will see abundance reflected back to you. As more and more individuals awaken to this truth and begin living from empowered states of being, we will see a collective shift in our shared reality. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be feeling at this point. You may be excited by these ideas, inspired by the possibilities they present, but you may also be feeling a sense of doubt. Can it really be this simple? You may be asking. If this is true, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer, my friends, is that while the principle is indeed simple, its application requires a fundamental shift in how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It requires us to let go of many deeply ingrained beliefs and habits of thought. It asks us to take complete responsibility for our lives, to step into our power as creators. This can be a daunting prospect. Many people, when confronted with this truth, shrink back from it. They find comfort in the familiar, even if the familiar is not what they truly desire. But you, my dear listeners, are different. The very fact that this video has found you, that you are hearing these words, is proof that you are ready for this transformation. You are ready to step into your power as a conscious creator. You are ready to take control of your inner world, and by doing so, reshape your outer reality. This is why your life is about to change. This is why you find yourself at this pivotal moment, poised on the brink of a new way of being. But let me be clear, this is not about gaining power over others or manipulating the world to serve your ego. This is about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, about becoming a channel through which the infinite expresses itself. It's about living a life of purpose, of joy, of fulfillment, not just for yourself, but as an inspiration and a blessing to all those around you. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 30 days, Commit yourself fully to this practice. Choose one desire, one change you wish to see in your life. Each night as you fall asleep, imagine it as vividly as you can. Feel it as real. Leave each day from the state of its fulfillment. Do this consistently, persistently, and with unwavering faith. Don't worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to live from the end, to be in imagination what you wish to be in reality. The universe will take care of the rest. At the end of those 30 days, reflect on your experience. Notice the changes, both subtle and profound, that have occurred in your life. Pay attention to the shifts in your perception, in your emotional state, in the way you interact with the world around you. This, my friends, is just the beginning. As you master this practice, as you become more and more aligned with your true creative power, you will find yourself capable of transforming not just your individual circumstances, but of contributing to the transformation of our collective reality. Remember, the world is waiting for you to awaken to your true power. It is longing for you to step into the fullness of who you truly are. For as you liberate yourself, as you begin to live from a place of joy, abundance, and love, you liberate those around you. You become a living example of what is possible, a beacon of hope and inspiration in a world that so desperately needs it. So go forth, my dear friends, with this newfound knowledge. Let it sink deep into your being. Let it inform every thought, every action, every moment of your day. Know that as you do so, you are setting in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. Your life is about to change, not because of external circumstances, but because you are awakening to the immense power that has always resided within you. This video, these words have found you at precisely the right moment when you are ready to embrace this truth and step into your role as the conscious creator of your reality. As you move forward from this moment, carry with you the understanding that your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and use it with love. Remember that what you imagine and feel to be real must, by universal law, become your reality. This is not wishful thinking, but the very mechanism by which all of creation operates. In the coming days and weeks, you will begin to notice changes in your life. They may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new opportunity presenting itself, a fortuitous encounter. Embrace these changes, for they are the first fruits of your new way of being. They are confirmation that you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. But do not stop there. As you see these initial changes manifesting in your life, let them fuel your faith and strengthen your resolve. Continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. For remember, the outer is but a shadow of your past beliefs. Your new assumptions, held with unwavering faith, will inevitably reshape that outer world. Finally, my dear friends, know that this journey you are embarking upon is not just for your own benefit. As you transform your own life, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. You demonstrate what is possible when one awakens to their true nature as a creative force in the universe. And in doing so, you contribute to the elevation of all humanity. So go forth with courage, with faith, and with the unshakable knowledge that the life of your dreams is not just possible, it is inevitable. For you are the operant power, the author of your destiny, the creator of your reality. Your life is about to change because you have chosen to change it. Embrace this power and watch in awe as the world transforms before your eyes.